Hello, Dion from Eflowtion Support Services here, and it's been quite some time since I've done a chat in this woods. I think they've been upgrading the track because there's all kind of like compacted road base, and in some areas they've actually put down bitumen. I think they're upgrading all the tracks. I was kind of annoyed at because I was thinking it's like, wow, if you put bitumen and you're walking through the forest, it's like you're not really connected to nature or anything like that. And then I kind of like looked down at my feet and I just started laughing at my own logic because like it's hard to be connected to nature when you're wearing rubber-soled shoes. And then I started laughing more. It's like, well, maybe I should buy barefoot shoes so I could be barefoot with shoes on. The only real way to go barefoot is having bare feet. If anything, the actual walk in was a lot more smoother. Anyway, back in the bush I am. So I wanted to have a little chat because it's like you've probably noticed or not even cared or deeply care and just up at night just wondering why there hasn't been as many intuitive chats lately and probably more EFT tapping videos. And that's because like I've probably going through a period of change within myself now that I've been accepted as a disciple or a follower at a Taoist temple, training me now to become a Taoist priest in that, which is a lot of responsibility, a lot of learning. You can join a religion, but whether they're actually going to get you to lead a religion is another thing. So that's the part I wasn't expecting. But yeah, it's actually something that I'm fully embracing, and I've probably spent the last couple of weeks actually at the temple just learning what I need to be now doing, because yes, it's a lot of responsibility. It's kind of good because it's also like a psychology in a way. It's like it's a way of thinking sort of thing, and how to conduct your life in the master that I'll be following, which is Master Lu, and how he conducted his life. That's part of the reason why like there's not been too many videos, because like when I've got spare time I just nick off to the temple and start learning. The other part is the support work side has been just going gangbusters. It's like been really good. It's like a lot of people are making progress, and I'm quite happy. And it's like just finding those ways to help motivate and create change where it's more coming from within rather than me cracking a whip sort of thing. I guess like I've also been going to the gym. Like I started with a PT. Definitely exercising the mind has been improving. Exercising the body has been improving the mind and changing diets up and everything like that. So there's been all that sort of background stuff that I've been sort of busying myself with. The chats in themselves, the reason I've been putting out EFT tapping videos more than chats is like, not that I'm getting tired of having to chat about CPTSD or narcissism or anything like that. I think that's always going to be something that's going to be a part of the channel, but I feel, at least within myself, if I put it in a gym metaphor, where like I've been given advice to consume more protein as I'm going to be exercising. Of course, like my body's going to be needing more sustenance to support itself. It's been something that I've incorporated now into my life, where I'm more moving towards a pescatarian diet than a vegetarian diet. I can support my well-being, my growth as a person by changing things up. I've done this in the past. It's not a big thing for me. If we take that but put it into information about, if we're always consuming information about narcissism, for example, and all the ins and outs of that, and the terribleness and all this sort of thing about it, or even CPTSD and stuff like that, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, and it's good to actually gain education and awareness about it. But similar to like the gym, if I'm always consuming the protein, if I'm always consuming whatever food that I need to like build up my body, but I never actually put that into action, I never start to process it, I never start to go to the gym and start transforming protein into muscle or into cardio or whatever it is, start toning my body, or if I never take that information that I have or the awareness that I have that I'm gaining about narcissism or about CPTSD, then I'm stuck in that consumption and it becomes a cycle sort of thing. And if I'm only consuming, then I'm going to start to get bloated. I'm going to start to get weighed down by all this kind of negative information sort of thing, where it's like all the bad stuff and all the narcissism. I mean, narcissism, it's like if it's all about them, then it's kind of like that's what they're all about at the end of the day. But even with CPTSD, if I'm gaining awareness about like triggers or where it's coming from and all that, but I never actually put that into a healing action, then it only becomes a knowledge, not an applied knowledge. Kind of like if I did my certificate in EFT tapping but never actually practiced it, it's going to be hard to actually be an EFT practitioner practicing EFT or having a gym membership and never using the equipment. So the change is never going to happen in the gaining of awareness. It's what we do with the awareness, how we put that awareness into action. And that doesn't mean that being regimental or pushing ourselves or like I need to be doing so much a day. It's just knowing that what we do with the information will help inform our lives, but whether it will start to transform our lives is when we start to feel into those emotions of what happened to us, that we start to release, so it doesn't become us sort of thing. It doesn't start to define us. We don't become the CPTSD person for life. It's just we're aware of it, and we're aware of when things might start to get unbalanced, but it's having those tools to actually put into practice to bring things back into line, bring things back into harmony in a way. Me waffling on always about the bad things about narcissism or CPTSD, it's kind of like the news cycle sort of thing. It's like always watching the news, always seeing the terrible things, and it's like being really reactive about that sort of thing. It's like, oh, this fear, or the world's a bad thing. That's all you're going to be viewing it through sort of thing. So if you're only going to be viewing narcissism through a certain lens, or if you're only going to be viewing CPTSD through a certain lens, then that how you view your life will be that way. An example is if you want to be suspicious about the world, just cultivate a very suspicious mind, and how you view things will be very suspicious. It's like, what's their motivations? What are they up to? But if you start to change your perceptions and go, oh, I have this, like I have a broken leg, I just need to actually start to heal, address, attend to it, then I have the information, I have the broken leg, but what am I actually going to do with it? Do I stay with the information, or do I start the healing process? When we look at what like Dr. Gabor Mate sort of said about trauma, I think it was him, that trauma is not what happens to you, it's a result of what happens inside of you as a result of what happened to you. I think I said that right. So it's kind of like knowing that, if you got into a car crash, you don't want the doctor showing up to your bedside going, this is how the car crash happened sort of thing, and like this is the mechanics, and this is what you look like, and here's the photos of it sort of thing. It's like we're aware that a car crash happened, but it's how we actually start to heal from the car crash. And I think that's what my focus has been about. It's like if we have awareness of it, starting to change that through finding a therapist or finding someone that can actually help you with that, EFT or whatever it is. Trauma has happened, but how do we release that stuff to start to reduce the intensity, reduce stress, reduce the feelings around some of what has happened to us, but it's not us as people sort of thing. We want to start to heal from it. We want to start to heal from the broken leg, not confirm that the leg is broken all the time sort of thing. I guess if we look at acceptance sort of thing, it's like accepting of like, not that I'm accepting of the abuse that happened to me, I'm just accepting of the situation that I'm in. If I'm accepting of the situation that I'm in, then I can empower myself to start to change rather than waiting for change to happen for me, or waiting for maybe reassurance that it didn't happen. So I don't have to go through the change. And when we look at it from that sort of a perspective, it can be a waiting time until the person is ready to change and until they're ready to move into that. Because when you do consider it, what you're feeling into is quite strong emotions, and some of that has been protective emotions. So it requires a certain amount of vulnerability and open to heal. And when we look at EFT, it's like emotional freedom technique. It's giving you the freedom from those very constricted emotions, that fear. So you can be a bit more receptive at life. So you don't view it through a suspicious mind or a fearful mind. You have a different perspective on things and of oneself. So we don't get stuck in just, this is how it is and this is only me sort of thing. We start to go, well, this is what happened to me. I can understand it from their point of view. I don't condone what they had to do for me, but I know my part in it, and I can also change my life. And the other thing is that, yes, with all the ex-marriage and all that, and God, there's so much that I haven't talked about. And even like I've had bad experiences with psychology and parents and all that. There's my sister. There's a lot of trauma that I haven't talked about. In a vulnerability, there is a letting go process, and a letting go, but a learning process. Like, we don't want to just let go and forget. We want to let go and remember, but with less intensity. Especially like with the ex-wife and all that, there was a lot of hurt that happened there, and especially when you do care and love for a person, sort of thing. I think that's where it really causes its damage the most. But it's kind of like, do I want the past and all the negativity that happened? And there was some positivity, I will acknowledge that. But do I let the past of what happened to me define what I could be? So do I let the trauma that happened to me be what defines me as a person going forward? And letting go of a weight that was a part of my experience, but starting to move towards, well, how can I learn from that and actually help other people, probably more through healing rather than informing. So that's not to say that there's not going to be more chats or sharing of information. If I was to look at what I'll be directing the chats towards in the future, is just sort of more brief, more if I've got something to say, I'll say it, and but more directing things towards the EFT tapping and the potato breath work once that comes online. And in truth, that's what EFT tapping is about. It's not about these chats. It's not even a counseling session. EFT tapping, the videos that you're seeing on this channel, is probably not a good representation of what an EFT tapping session looks like, because what it looks like is you present with an issue, we tap upon that issue using the words that you say, and I'm not sort of like theorizing or philosophizing. I'm just tapping upon what you're giving me. So yeah, I think I'll end the chat there and enjoy a bit of nature, my somewhat connection to it. I shall converse with nature. I'll catch you in the next chat, and keep being your awesome self. Thank you for doing the EFT tapping videos and sharing and letting go of some experiences that happened to you, but don't always have to be a part of you. You can reduce the intensity, learn from the experience, gain awareness of that, and move through life knowing that if that situation comes up again, you now have something that you can practice or put into practice to actually help with that. So yeah, I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.